So you guys know I love reporting on what's going on here, not only in Fulton County, but specifically with the district attorney here in Fulton County, Fani Willis. Now, y'all gonna call me a hater. Some of you call me a hater. It's fine. I just call it accountability. And we've covered every step of the process of Fani Willis going through and being kicked off this Trump election interference case, whatever, if you want to call it that. I want to call it something else. We won't get too political here. But as you guys know, as we've reported here, Fani Willis got kicked off the case. She went and tried to go to the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals said, Fani, really? We've been through this multiple times. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1, you said, I want to stay on the case. Judge told you no. Step 2, you were asked to be kicked off the case and you weren't. Step 3, you appealed the decision. And now we're back here. We're not even going to hear your appeal. No, you're not getting on the case. So it seems like Fani Willis may have accepted defeat at this point, because now she's going to be called to testify about her involvement in this entire election interference case. And we're hearing that things are being reassigned, and this case could possibly be reassigned, but there's a very short deadline. And as I predicted, and as I said before on this channel, this case is most likely going to go nowhere and is going to die right where it sits. Check this out from Fox 5 News right here in Atlanta.
Fox 5 News at 6 starts.
Gotta do better, Fani.
Right now.
Now at 6, a 20-year-old inmate at the Fulton County Jail fights for her life as the family of the woman charged with attacking her speaks out.
Terrible.
They claim mental health played.
There's a lot going on here in Fulton County. Let me skip ahead.
But we begin with breaking news in the ongoing saga over the Fulton County election interference investigation. A judge has issued a deadline, or he will dismiss the case. Good evening. I'm Courtney Bryant.
And I'm Russ Spencer. This afternoon, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee gave the state prosecuting attorney's counsel 14 days to appoint a new prosecutor in the case, or else that case will be dismissed.
Guys, 14 days. This is getting dismissed. I will be shocked if another prosecutor picks up this case. With everything that's going right now, y'all see how James Comey, the former director of the freaking FBI, is being indicted by we won't say by the president, by the Department of Justice. And you think for 1 second that an attorney's going to want to pick this up? Fani Willis has already been the example, Exhibit A. If you pick up a case against a former president running for president, and now you're going to pick up a case against a seated president, the 47th president of the United States, what are we doing here? I mean, the judge was just being nice shout out to McAfee, by granting the 14 days. Come on, man.
McAfee's order comes after courts removed Fulton County DA Fani Willis from the case. Last month, the state Supreme Court upheld her removal over the appearance of impropriety related to her romantic relationship with special prosecutor Nathan Wade, whom she hired. Even though Wade left the case last year, the courts ruled that DA Willis should no longer prosecute this case.
The judge's order follows a surprise announcement from the state capitol today. A state Senate committee that has questioned the actions of Willis in the 2020 election interference case dropped another bombshell.
At the end of a 90-minute public hearing, the committee chairman announced that Willis has apparently given up her legal fight and will testify before the committee next month.
Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is at the state capitol with the details. A lot of new developments tonight, Deidre.
A lot of new developments, that announcement coming during a 90-minute session this morning, that hearing underway at the state capitol. And as it wound to a close, we did learn that attorneys have been negotiating behind the scenes, apparently, with the committee chairman announcing that DA Fani Willis has agreed to appear before the panel and answer their questions next month.
Hell, this is going to be good.
We need her
I hope we get to see it.
We need her to tell us what does she think is appropriate behavior by a prosecutor. So that we can...
Shout out to this man. He has been trying to get Fani Willis to appear before a Senate committee for the past year plus, it feels like, and it hasn't happened. Fani Willis was subpoenaed to show up to the last Senate committee hearing they had, and she didn't show up. He's like, I mean, you guys can sanction me if you want to. What is it, $1,000? I got that in my pillowcase. I got that in the mattress. Hey, yo. They have been trying to get her to show up, and now maybe she'll finally do it. we'll be here to talk about it too.
Can build it into the law.
Senator Bill Cowser chairs the Senate
Shout out to
committee
Bill.
investigating Fulton County DA Fani Willis's alleged misconduct in connection with the Georgia elections
Bill is
interference
not afraid
case.
of Fani Willis.
After months of back and forth and legal challenges, the committee announced during Friday's hearing that Willis is scheduled to appear before them on November 13th. Attorneys are still working out the terms.
She has agreed to testify in front of our committee to honor our subpoena, and she wants to limit the scope of the questions. I'm negotiating that with her attorney now.
Nah, come on,
Came
Bill.
under fire after she was accused by one of the defendants in the elections interference case of having an inappropriate relationship with former special prosecutor Nathan Wade.
She did.
And having financially benefited from that relationship. Both Wade and Willis denied the accusations, but following multiple hearings and appeals, Wade stepped down. In September, the state Supreme Court held up a lower court ruling disqualifying DA Willis from the case.
I keep repeating, we're not on some witch hunt against Fani Willis here. You know, that's been left up to the judicial system, and essentially the courts have removed her from prosecution for a variety of reasons.
The Senate committee
it's
doesn't
Fani
have
Willis
the power
versus
to
the world.
prosecute Willis or remove her from office, but can make recommendations as to whether new laws or ethical guidelines are needed for DAs in Georgia.
I think that's a good thing. She's been the center of attention so much, so it'll be good for her to actually come and give her side, so to speak.
Please.
Now,
Give
we
me a
did
break.
reach out to Attorney Willis's attorney for comment this afternoon, and we haven't yet heard back. We're still waiting to hear their response as to this latest news that dropped this morning. Reporting at the state capitol, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
And shout out to Ms. Dukes. We're going to hear more from Fani Willis. I'm excited for this. Ooh. Bill, we're counting on you, Bill. I know you just said that you can't remove Fani from office. I know you said you can make recommendations. We don't care about that. I think many of us who were team Courtney Kramer have accepted our fate and that we're going to be stuck with Fani for a while. All right? Just stand 10 tones down, my guy. Come on, Bill. Just hold her accountable. Don't negotiate too hard on these questions. She's supposed to show up before. She needs to show up now. She already agreed to testify. We have questions we want answered. All right, it's not that difficult. But you guys think it started and stopped with Fani Willis. You're wrong, because something took place in Detroit, Michigan, to where there was more involvement and more issues with this entire election interference case. And we'll get back to Fani Willis in a second. Check this out.
But first at 5, it's a story we first brought you breaking today at noon. A judge ruling a group of 16 people accused of trying to falsely certify President Trump as the winner of the 2020 election will not face trial. We appreciate you joining us. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Simon Shaquette. Judge Kristen D. Simmons finding no intent to commit fraud in their actions after several years of back and forth.
The 15 defendants, including a few high-profile members of the Michigan Republican Party, were each charged 2 years ago with 8 counts of forgery and conspiracy to commit election fraud.
7 News Detroit reporter Whitney Burney joining us in studio live with reaction from both sides and what lies ahead. Whitney.
Well, Simon and Glenn, today's ruling a major blow to Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel and other prosecutors, as similar cases in 4 other states have been hit with similar setbacks. While Nessel believes the evidence here was clear, those accused are celebrating a victory on what they say was retaliation.
The evidence was clear. They lied, they knew they lied, and they tried to steal the votes of millions of Michiganders.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says this all started in December of 2020 when 16 people walked into a room with a mission to sign and mail a document to the U.S. Senate falsely claiming to be duly elected and qualified electors for the state of Michigan and that Donald Trump was the rightful winner of the presidential election.
We are talking about 16 people who conspired to nullify the votes of the other 2,649,851 voters who happened to disagree with them.
After 2.5 years of litigation, Judge Kristen D. Simmons declaring Tuesday morning the accused men and women would not face charges in the case, finding no intent to commit fraud.
There was no criminal intent. There was absolutely nothing proven in any way that we were at fault of any of the things that we were charged with, horrible things that we were charged with. I was looking at 84 years in prison, and it's taken us 2.5 years to fight this.
Michonne Maddock, one of the 16 defendants in this case.
What do you want people to know about what you guys were attempting to do during that time when it came to the election?
You know, it's really easy, and Judge Simmons brought it up. We went Facebook Live and said that we were never meant to replace the electors that were in the Capitol, that what we were doing was signing a document to go alongside in case it was needed. And if the election in 2020 had been revealed to have been stolen, like I know that it was, then the paperwork that we did would have been necessary.
Maddox says she believes she and the other electors were only targeted because of their loyalty to President Trump, and still believes to this day the election was stolen despite no evidence of widespread fraud ever being uncovered.
As prosecutors, we have a moral and ethical obligation to bring charges when there is evidence of a crime. And despite today's very wrong decision, the evidence is clear and overwhelming.
Is it though? No. All right, so let's get back into Fani Willis. So what's going to happen to Fani Willis here? We've got this article again from Fox 5 Atlanta. Fulton County DA Fani Willis agrees to testify before a Georgia Senate panel, and I cannot wait. Man, please, Bill, we got to watch this, and I'll find out when it is. I know they're saying in November 11th. Now we're saying November 13th. We'll get a for sure date, and y'all know we are going to report on it here. All right, Fani Willis set to testify before a Georgia Senate committee on November 13th, possibly. The panel has been probing her Trump election interference case. The committee can't prosecute Willis, but may recommend new DA guidelines. It's not going to do anything, but whatever. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has agreed to testify before a Georgia Senate committee, a special Georgia Senate committee, investigating her handling of the election interference case against President Donald Trump. The committee leaders said Willis will appear at the state capitol on November 13th at 10 a.m. after a few months of legal wrangling between her office and the panel over a subpoena, which she didn't show up the first time she was supposed to. The committee, formed in 2024, has been reviewing allegations tied to Willis's prosecution of Donald Trump and co-defendants accusing him of trying to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. The committee is chaired by Republican Senator Bill Cassert, who is running for state attorney general, Senator Greg Dolezal, I always mess up his name, who is a Republican, and the committee's vice chair announced earlier this week that he is running for lieutenant governor. All right. So Senator Bill, he says that Willis's testimony is needed to better understand the process. We need her input. We need her to tell us, does she think it is appropriate behavior by prosecutors so we can build it into the law? Good luck with that. And I have a feeling a lot of this is going to be used by the Department of Justice. Again, I'm not an attorney, not sure how that would work, but this is building up to something, guys. If you think President Donald Trump was just going to let Fani go, not make a big deal of it, I don't see that happening. Bill, who chairs the Senate committee investigating Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis' alleged misconduct in connection with the Georgia elections interference case. Bill says that she has agreed to testify in front of our committee to honor our subpoena, and she wants to limit the scope of the questions. Of course she does. I'm negotiating with her attorney now. As we heard, Bill, don't do it. Come on, man. 10 toes down. Counselor asks, I keep repeating, we're not on some witch hunt against Fani Willis here. You know, that's been left up to the judicial system. And essentially, the courts have removed her from the prosecution for a variety of reasons. And we could name them all. I won't double down here. State Representative Harold Jones II said, I think it's a good thing, as we heard. If you say so. The Fulton County case brought by District Attorney Fani Willis alleges that President Trump and 18 of his allies conspired to overturn Georgia's certified 2020 election results through a coordinated criminal enterprise. It sounds like a RICO against Fani. Oh my goodness. What do y'all think about this? Let me know what you think in the comments and in the chat. We're going to be here and we're going to report and cover that Senate committee hearing. And it's going to be interesting to see, especially if Fani shows up. I have a feeling now that we hear that Bill Cassert is negotiating with Fani, it might not be as crazy as we want it to be. But I think the questions will be pointed because there are some changes that need to be made. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat.